Hi, welcome to Reform Tech channel. In this video, I'll talk about the AWS Elastic Beanstalk. Alright, so AWS Elastic Beanstalk is a AWS managed service that is for web applications, and it is a pre-configured EC2 server that can directly take up your application code and environment configurations and use it to automatically provision and deploy the required resources within AWS. Alright, so unlike the EC2 which you have seen before, which is an infrastructure as a code, okay, but Elastic Beanstalk is called as a platform as a service. So it allows users to directly use a pre-configured server for their application. Okay, so with this, what we can do is the developers can quickly deploy their application and manage their application. They just want to write the code, that's it. And developers simply upload their application to AWS Cloud, and then the AWS Beanstalk provision and handle the configuration for your application. Alright. So your application will be provided with also the capacity provisioning, the load balancing, the auto scaling, and also the health monitoring. Okay, so previously we used to write a code and then build an infra, like we used to build VPC, subnets, route tables, then we have to build the EC2, and we have to then deploy it in the EC2. So these all takes much time, right? But now you just concentrate on your code, you just write the code alone, and AWS will take care of the rest. So when I say this, that doesn't mean that you'll not have complete control on the infra. You do have, but in a simpler way, I'll say. Right, so now let's jump into the hands-on session and just see how do we build our, we do have a file, right, the index.html. So I just want to build a web application with that index.html file. Okay, that's just a simple application. I just want to show how it works. Alright, so for which I'm going to the Elastic Beanstalk now. Okay, if you go to Elastic Beanstalk, you'll not see the screen. This is the screen which you see initially. So what you have to do is I have to say create application now. So once you create application, it will have it will give you some options. So it is asking for the application name. I will just give Reform Tech. Let's say Reform Tech web app. Alright, so maybe web app. Okay, so you can give a key and value, that is also optional. Maybe I'll give again app and test. And here we have to choose the platform. So the Beanstalk supports these many platforms. Alright, so there are multiple platforms that it supports. But now in our case, we are going to inject a HTML file. So we would do with the PHP. So PHP support the HTTP file, so I would go with the PHP for now. Alright, so a sample application is there, but if you want to upload your code, yes, you have an option. You just click on upload your code. Yeah, so I forgot to do one thing. So before you upload your code, you should make sure that your code is zipped. Okay, so you have to make sure that your file is zipped for the jar application. So only then you can be able to upload it here. So what I'll do is I will quickly go to my my file. This is my file. So what I'll do is I will just send to zip. Okay, I'm just zipping it with the name index.html. Okay, all good. Now what I'll do, I will say choose file. Okay, and I have to go to the Reform Tech S3, and this is the file, right? So I'm going to choose this file now. I'll say open. Yep, it is opening it. Alright, so okay, if you want to tag your application, you can do, but yeah. So now when you click on create configuration, create application, it will start creating your application. So it is as simple as that, right? You don't have to do anything else, but you just say create applications. Okay, while I click this, it will take some time to create the application. So meanwhile, I will show you what is an the configure more options also. Okay, so first let me do this. I'll just say create application. So this is how it starts, and it is saying creating environment. So as you could see that it is getting started, and you could see the status here. You can go to the applications, and if you could see this is the application you want, right? So this is the application, and if I click on this, yeah, it is still pending. Okay, so the status is still pending. Let us wait for the health to be okay. So meanwhile, I will just show you the that other thing. Okay, I'll just check randomly, and now if I go to the configure more options, so you have the infrastructure things mentioned here. Okay, so you have by default it is launched in a single instance. Okay, meaning because it's a free tier, it is launched with a single instance. So if you are going with a single instance, of course you will not be in need of the load balancers too. Okay, so on the platform we have selected this PHP. If you want, you can change it here, and the software details here, we can edit the software and change it, and instant details are also here. If you want to go with some other instance, yes, that is also possible, we can go with that. And the security groups, these are the security groups. You want to tag existing security group, yes, that is also possible. And you have the load balancers, that is not enabled here because you have only one instance, but if you have multiple instances, yes, you could see an option to edit, and you can edit the load balancer, target groups and things. Alright, then you have the rolling updates and deployment. Like this is nothing but, if you have multiple versions of your application, say for example you have released a version today with 1.1, and tomorrow you are coming up with the new version that is 1.2, and if you want to roll your application from 1.1 to 1.2, then there are some parameters that are used with the rolling parameters that you should use. Okay, so yeah, and this is the security part, and you have monitoring. You have the CloudWatch. So for monitoring, if I click on this, you have the CloudWatch. So yeah, you can enable it, and you can also monitor it. And what else is there? Yeah, the notifications, as we have seen in the previous lectures also. You have this SNS, the simple notification service by Amazon. We can use that. And if you want to put it in any VPC, particular VPC, yep, that is also possible. Database is there. You can edit and add the database and tags. Alright, so these are the other options which you could customize. And if you don't customize and just directly click on create application, then what Amazon does is that it will take the default values and it creates it. Alright, now let's come back to our applications and just see whether it is up or not. Yep, now it's running, the health is okay. So this is the URL which is just given, which is created by AWS. So if I just click on this URL, what happens is that we get our page. Alright, so as you could see, we could see the header also, and also we could see the body, whatever is there in our HTML file. Okay, so we do not create any resource. Right, we do not create a VPC, we do not do any, we do not create an EC2, we did nothing. Right, so it just we uploaded our code, and yes, when you upload your code, what happens is that your code goes directly to the wait a minute, I'm sorry, this is a wrong screen. Okay, I think I've closed it. Let me open it again. Yeah, so what happens is that when you click on when you create this, what happens is it will create a S3 bucket. Okay, it will create a S3 bucket, and it will store all your files in that S3 bucket. So see, for example, this is your S3 bucket, and inside which your zip file will be there. Okay, so this S3 bucket creation is done automatically, and if you have an existing S3 bucket, yes, you can upload it in that bucket as well. Alright, so this is about the Elastic Beanstalk, and yeah, so this is how you can provision it very simply. If you just have your code and just want to build an environment, you can use the Elastic Beanstalk, and that could be built in a minute, right? So this is very easy to work on. Alright, okay, and one more thing I just want to cover out of it. I know I've tried to delete this but the S3 bucket, but I had some issues in deleting. But so I just want to give you a heads up on how to, if you face this error, I'll just tell you how to delete this. Okay, for now, deleting the environment, it's easy. I'll just check this. I'll go to actions, say terminate environment. Just you have to give the app name. So I'll copy this, paste this here, and terminate. Alright, so this will get terminated. That's okay, that's fine. But if you want to terminate your S3 bucket, it will not terminate just as it is. Okay, so first, that's a good thing, that's a good point also. You cannot delete a bucket directly like this. Okay, so first we have to delete the objects inside the bucket, and only then you have to clear it. So to just clear, we can just get inside the bucket and just select all the objects and then say delete. Or if you have multiple things, multiple folders and things, then the best way to do is just say empty in the first screen itself. And if you say permanently delete, yeah, it will delete all your objects in the S3 bucket. Okay, so once this is done, if you just try to delete your bucket now, it will not get deleted. It should not get deleted. Yeah, so it says you do not have permission to delete this file. Okay, so if you face this error, if you face this issue, what you can do is just click on this bucket and go to the properties, not the properties, but the permissions, and you have the bucket policy here. So the reason why you're not able to delete this bucket is that in the bucket policy, if you see this JSON script, you will have under the delete bucket, you have the access is denied. So it is not able to deny this, it is not able to delete it, right? So what you do is you just edit this and just scroll down, and here you just say it as allow, and then save this, save changes, done. So now your bucket will be public, and now you'd be able to delete this bucket. So I'll go to S3, I'll say delete bucket, and I'll copy this bucket name, paste it here, and it's done. Alright, so yeah, so that is it about Elastic Beanstalk, and yeah, so thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next video.